Down syndrome, or trisomy 21, is when there is a complete or partial copy of chromosome 21. This can happen when one parent cell contributes an extra chromosome, but it can go down in a few ways. Before we learn how it happens, we have to first learn the process of what normal cells go through during the first trimester of a pregnancy. Here we have a singular cell that has 23 pairs of 46 chromosomes. We start off with meiosis. That's the process of producing our sex cells, and the chromosomes replicate inside the cell, shaping them like an X. Then, the cell splits into two and pulls apart the paired chromosome. In each of these cells, we now have 23 chromosomes. They get pulled apart again, each cell still having 23 chromosomes. Then, the cell pairs up with a sperm cell, which also has 23 chromosomes, giving us 46 chromosomes in total. Now that we know what the process of what normal cells go through looks like, we can start learning about the process of what cells with trisomy 21 looks like.
Wow!
There are three cytogenic types of trisomy 21. The first one is called free trisomy 21. Free trisomy 21 is the result of non-disjunction. Non-disjunction can happen when the chromosomes don't split apart during the first stage of cell splitting. One cell will end up with 4 pairs of the same chromosome, while the other gets none. This results in the following cells dividing into 2 cells with an extra chromosome and 2 cells missing a chromosome. Non-disjunction can also happen during the second stage of splitting. This can result in 1 cell with an extra chromosome, 1 cell missing a chromosome, and 2 with the normal amount of chromosomes. If the sperm cell combines with one of the cells that have an extra chromosome, then the combined cell will have another extra chromosome. This will lead the cell to have 3 of the same chromosome, as to why it's called trisomy 21, because it's 3. But the sperm could fuse with one of the cells missing a chromosome, giving it only 1 chromosome, which is called monosomy 21. Free trisomy 21 is also 95% of Down syndrome cases. The next cytogenic we're going to be talking about is Robertsonian translocation. Robertsonian translocation is 4% of Down syndrome cases, and the name basically just means moving around, which is exactly what it is. Robertsonian translocation is when a part from a chromosome switches places with a part from another chromosome. So like the long arm of chromosome 21 switches with the short arm of 14, giving us a hybrid of a chromosome with both long arms and one with both short arms. Short arms also carry no essential genetic information, and usually get lost in the end of meiosis, leaving us with only the long arm chromosomes. The translocated chromosomes then start to replicate and split, giving us 1 cell with normal chromosomes and 1 with both hybrid mixes. Then those cells split, giving us 2 cells with normal chromosomes and 2 with the long arms of chromosome 21. And chromosome 14, the short arms, as I mentioned earlier, got lost, which is why we only have the long arms left. Then the sperm cell comes along. It can either combine with the normal cells, or it can combine with the long arm chromosome cells. The term for this is called balanced carriers, because it has the long arms, so most of the genes are still there. Now, let's say chromosome 14 ends up with the short arms, and normal chromosome 21 ends up with the long arms. Now, they split into 2 cells, 2 with the normal and long arm, and 2 cells with the normal and short arm, which is usually lost. The long arms have an extra chromosome 21. Since the long arms carry most of the genetic material for both chromosomes 21 and 14, both the short arms are missing chromosomes. Combine these with the sperm cell and you have trisomy 21 with the long arms and monosomy 21 with the short arms because it's missing a chromosome 21. If this process was switched and chromosome 14 ended up with the long arms, then you'd have trisomy 14, chromosome 14 with the long arms, and monosomy 14, chromosome 21 with the short arms. With these 12 possibilities, only 2 end up being trisomy 21. The last cytogenic is called mosaic. This is 1% of Down syndrome cases. Non-disjunction of chromosome 21 can happen during mitosis. where one cell would end up with an extra chromosome, giving it 47 chromosomes.